Wow. Well, Spirit keeps telling me one thing. They both want this. And there were times that fear got in the way. There was times that fear made it to where the two people in this dynamic had to have detours, if you will, from each other. There have been times where the ball was in your court. There have been times that the ball was in their court. And there was a freeze. If something's meant for you, you can't fuck it up. But the thing is, it's what Spirit does. And this is the best way I like to explain it to people. Spirit is the GPS. Humans, we are the vehicle. And then signs from the universe, tarot cards, channelers are the voice of the navigation system, if you will. And what does a GPS do when we take a turn too soon or a turn too late? It reroutes us. It may take a little longer or a little faster, but it's not over. I feel a connection that's been going on for a while. You both have faced different types of fears, different types of what ifs, and you both still want this. And it's not that life's getting in the way. There are still other things that have to be taken care of before you two can be together. It's a world of emotions for sure, I feel, but this isn't over. So Spirit has some guidance for you on understanding what's going in their head and why there's been a detour put in place, if you will. So a humongous part of the reason there's a detour for that person's part of it, because we're going to analyze both of you. They believed that you were too good to be true. There was a deep sense of them that wasn't sure if you were a mermaid or a siren in their life as a representation, okay? Mermaids are these beautiful, majestic creatures that are peaceful. They have pure intentions and are part of the beauty of the world. Sirens are gorgeous creatures that lure you in from their beautiful voice to death. This person would go back and forth from this person really, like, meaning you, they really do like me. And there's something more here to, they're playing me, or there's something they're hiding, etc. That's too good to be true energy. And I see that this person is realizing, fuck, how much time did I go with me here? Because there's no wasted time. But we're in their head, and I'm going to explain to you what they're thinking. Fuck, how much wasted time did I do? I could have been spending all of this time getting to know them, and I let what ifs and fear of talking about serious topics at hand make me run. This person definitely connected to you when emotional things came to place or serious conversations. They could tend to be a runner. So they're realizing the thing is, they're realizing what the reason you feel me in my head is because they're definitely talking like they messed everything up, or if they would have just been able to control their emotions, things would be different right now between you and them. But at the same time, I'm hearing that what Spirit's actually telling me is, Matt, it had to happen this way. They wouldn't have been ready for each other then. This type of feelings you just don't wake up and they go away. They needed this time to learn how to surf their emotions. After all this time, even when you went into your separations, no matter if you're talking now or are still in the separation, they couldn't think about losing you, which is, it's an insane way to feel. Because I feel they're double-edged sword, because they're like, the only way I'm going to lose them is by me separating. They definitely are still learning to not be as self-critical. But they They believe in this connection. And a big part of them is like, it just can't be today. You in this connection. So you were a person who was a deep chaser for a long period of your life. You haven't been that way for a while now. You have been able to go ahead and go dive into your own craft, however that resonates for you. A big part of you has had to hold so much willpower, not reaching out to this person or trying to have conversations that you know would change your existence together, but that you may in the past would have came too fast with this type of conversation. There's so many conversations you're like, if we just could talk about this one thing and it'd be like productive, it would get somewhere. But even though you knew that, in past situations where you knew that, yes, talking about something, if both people are ready for it, will get to the center of an issue. But if they're not ready, it's overwhelming and will make somebody want to throw the connection away or run away. Not saying that you did anything wrong. This is just law of attraction, literally. In situations where you're like, man, I want to reach out to them, but they haven't reached back out to me. And it's not a game. It's not that. It's the ball being in the other person's court. It's different. Humans are not games. And if there's a human being in your life that tries to act like you are a game, that is a red flag. Now, life. The game of life, yes, it's chess piece. But the humans are not pawns. That is the difference. You and this dynamic have learned so much willpower and the ability to pull in with law of attraction. You've done it plenty of times with opportunities, platonic connections, some romantic connections, absolutely. But this was different. This person said you needed to surround yourself with more than just intimacy. During your separation, I see, but the things you could have done differently with this card. You've gotten so used to, with that law of attraction, not going out of your way to pull things in that are meant to you, but just like the ball is in somebody else's court, the ball is going to be in your court sometimes. And there were times where Spirit was like, okay, it's time to wiggle out of your comfort zone and see that if you're choking up, if you're trying not to message somebody or accept an invitation, if you will, because of how long they made you wait, or an ego-based decision of the sort. These are collective takes where resonates. That was something that could only be detangled by you talking to other people about it. Your hyper-independency is something of great, great power, but it also could turn into your biggest crutch. What I see is you went into so much deep shadow work, and sometimes you would only be able to rely on spirit signs, and you wouldn't trust any human words. It's so understandable, but you have to have people in your life you can trust, and they don't just come out willy-nilly. It takes experience, right? It takes consistency. It's not just because you met somebody and it's vibed. You have to go through hard things with people to know if they're really there. I see Spirit also is stating you needed some connections to be of a big focus importance before they would give you green lights on like fully putting your cards into this connection. There were times where the reason you kept your sword away or put this connection in a box next to your sword, the defense, was ego-based decisions on how to keep control versus law of attraction. The both of you, as we speak, I truly feel have let go of each of your, like, what was making the hold back. They want to see you as we speak. They really just want to pop up. That's what I'm hearing. A spontaneous action. Hey, I know I haven't seen you in a while, but is there any way to meet halfway, or energy of such? It looks like one person, it would take completely like you both having to get out of your doors and meet each other halfway for this dynamic. There's a lot of you here who could be seeing each other in the next 4 to 6 days. But there's also an energy of a person popping back into your life and able to start communication. Not having to just be... It's an interesting energy. I feel like both of you are individuals who absolutely gain much more connection one-on-one in person than like texting or etc. But it looks like both of you are very much going to have to open up your horizons and say, like, if we can't drive to each other, if we live far from each other, if there's something of schedules conflicting, well, then we have to utilize what we have and break our comfort zones and be vulnerable in these ways that we may not have been before. We may have been able to be vulnerable in person, but over the phone it was like impossible. Well, if that is what is here in your disposal, it's taking leaps and bounds with that. For the ones of you here who are still in that burning stage, what no longer serves, rising from the ashes, Spirit saying stand up to your inner parasite. This connection has always bobbed and weaved in and out of your life at times where you needed to focus on something else. This is not, you remember, these are collective takes what resonates. But this connection has never really been toxic. There's been absolutely times of disruption or negative low vibrations. It happens. But this dynamic for this collective, this dynamic, this relationship, etc., it wasn't toxic. It was a lot of deflecting or holding back. You guys have held back so much. Spirit stating the way from here with this connection, no matter if you're going to see each other tomorrow or a year from now, etc. They are saying, and they're suggesting, because they remember. Everything stems from the way you think, and all they can ever do is suggest. They can't demand anything from you. They can deeply and be enthralled and try to encourage, but again, you're the vehicle. You have the freedom of will. So what they're deeply guiding you to understand is there's not a gray area between you two. This is space of breathing. It's not gray. We have black, white, we have gray, but then we have tons of other colors. They want you to know that the energy sent between you, even though you could be in these moments of really not understanding what's going on in each other's head, or things just not working out to see each other, the energy sending between you two is not gray and hazy. It's a rainbow. It's a fucking vibe. A lot of tower moments have been solidified. You guys went into a lot of forms of situational... you guys went through a lot of... Okay, I see. A lot of the same energy, but totally different situations. Like, you could have been going through some hoops when it came to deterring your time or releasing certain connections that no longer served in more ways than one. And they could have been dealing with a lot of anxiety and pressure and decision making when it comes to a new job or a move or etc. And these collective takes will resonate, so it could be vice versa, etc. But you both were going through the same types of energetic tower moments with different 3D world reasons. And they want you to know that because these are collective, no matter if it's tomorrow or a year from now, etc., a month, take it as it resonates, because timelines really don't matter. The less you focus on a timeline, the sooner it will actually be pulled in. Sooner. It's a whole other topic. That's a literal whole other lesson to get into. But food for thought now. What they're saying is it's inevitable for you two to see each other again. And for this to go somewhere and there to be a whole other conversation. Your connection's guided and protected. It's time for you to just be ready. Be ready for so many different connections. They don't want you to go in hermit mode. A lot of you have been really fighting going into hermit mode. And of course, we always go in and out of our own intuition and recharging time. And there's a difference between having like your 3 hours a day that's a hermit mode versus going into 3 months of hermit mode, or 3 days versus 3 hours, etc. Recharging's different than self-isolation. You've been feeling a lot of changes, and they really want you to see that the masks are coming off with the connections around you in more ways than one. You see this person and they see you, and you both actually understand your insecurities and etc. far more than you've ever discussed. So now going forward, you are your own first priority as always. And there's a sense of whatever you think you've done to mess anything up or turn too soon, turn too far, forgive yourself, because there's nothing that's been messed up. It's divinely guided. It's orchestrated for you so that when you two can be official, however that resonates and means for you, it's no turning back. It's not still some forms of immaturity or things that you've been putting in a filing cabinet in the back of your head for so long to not be surfaced and analyzed and not even dealt with, but moved forward with. The connection is to meet again. That's inevitable. And that's what I have for you today. If you were interested in getting a personal reading with me, go to offprintmint.com. The link is in the bio of all my social media platforms. You simply click on that. It's going to take you to my website. There's a My Services page. You go to that. It'll show you all my available services. And you'll click the message that says to go ahead and send me a message. You're going to put your topic, your name, a brief description of your requested service, interview, etc. And we go from there. Another thing we're going to talk about today is my Discord. I have a Discord server that is meant for the people of my multiple different collectives. This is a safe space to express, to be yourself, find other people with like-mindedness. But not only just that, but are genuinely part of your collectives. It is absolutely beautiful. The family, the community, the team that has been made on that server. And I am deeply appreciative of my modders and everybody that joins the community. Another reason for it, a big reason for it, is that you get connected to it. It's going to keep you up to date on when I'm posting on all my platforms. It's going to be little extra tokens of guidance, if you will. But the main chunk of it is that community. They talk to each other every day, wish each other happy morning or good night, what are you doing? There's so many different little sections for them to share their artwork, a self-promotion page, music, so much. So if you're feeling called, it is linked in my Instagram, my YouTube videos, on all those platforms. And that's what I got for y'all today. I'll see you when I see you. Let's get it.